Welcome back to another episode of Riftwalkers, everybody. Because the group is moving on into the next arc here, we're going to re-roll for Destiny and for Obligation. I got a 4 on Obligation, which means that everybody takes a -1 penalty to their strain threshold, but Bread takes 2 because his Obligation of Obsession is active.
Oh boy.
Just what we need.
Little bread basket.
Yeah. Oh, that's a perfect nickname.
Meanwhile, I got 1 story point for the GM pool.
I also rolled a story point for the GM pool.
I also rolled a story point for the GM pool.
I also rolled a story point for the GM pool.
Well, I rolled 1 for the GM pool, too.
I also rolled 1 for the GM pool.
And I'm going to use all 6 of those story points right now to kill each of you. And that's Riftwalkers, everybody. This has been Season 2.
Yay!
So, where we last left off, with Kayako safely taken back to Viridian with Iris Elkar, the wolves' handler, Finn, Kel, Sirocco, Arnor, and Bread struck a deal with Aethelward Roan, one of the missing Vipers, now found, to travel to the kin city of Adin-Selk and track down Koko Silkweather, the next Viper up the line. They were to help her locate something, an object, a weapon. However, they wouldn't know the exact details until they arrived. The lot of you have just been transported with Ethelward's Voidcaller. With a spark and a snap, you were wrenched through the cavernous void as you see light and shadow dance all around you in nebulous forms before being wrenched once more back to reality and landing quite unceremoniously not too far from the main gates of Adin-Selk. This city was established, again, with the compact, like all the settlements on Viridian, but this one was spearheaded by the more kinlish elements, lending to its embedded culture and names and so forth. You've arrived on the northern tip. You see outskirts piling up until the city walls proper. A good portion of the city is contained within its large walls, all surrounding a hill and a sort of central plaza, and then large foresty parks. And finally, on the peak of this hill, a little lopsided toward the southern end of the city, is a keep, or a palace even. You know that you're supposed to go toward the keep. You're supposed to go to Fort Dek Adohi, which is where this palatial affair is taking place that Koko will be attending, and that you yourselves will then also be attending. However, the weekend is a whole day away, so you've at least got a day to get your bearings in the city.
Well, does anybody have any ideas for finding her, or do we think maybe she'll find us?
So, I think if we want to be more discreet this time around, maybe Koko does not see us coming, we try to find her, and the way we do that is, I know, Bread, you know where to find Aethelward in heat of the moment, so we wait for you to have inspiration, and then you tell us where Koko is.
This is so dangerous. I love it. Here's a question, Ryan. Does Bread feel any, inklings or tuggings or, impressions kind of in the back of his mind?
Not particularly, no.
I can't guarantee that I'll be able to produce results like that again.
Okay. We circle back to that idea. In the meantime, I have plan B. I start to make contacts with people in the Ekaram trading group. And I think Ekaram is connected to whatever the woman was doing. You know the woman, and I do not remember her name. Aethelward want to kill her.
Marika?
Ah, that's the one. So I think that the Ekaram trading group is connected to Marika. Aethelward said he was going to Port de Soleil to investigate Marika. Koko came here. I say we find Ekaram here, maybe also related to what Koko is finding, this prisoner, and maybe they know something.
Right. So are we in charge of securing our own invitations to this soiree, then?
I would think, unless Aethelward gives something to one of you I do not know about.
No one received anything from Aethelward, nor did he mention... He didn't say he called ahead, but I guess you'll never know until you try.
Sirocco, I had assumed that perhaps you would be able to work your ways with the help again.
I go in with the help. I go into the front door. I have many ways to go in, but I worry for the rest of you. I do not know how you get in. Well, maybe we all go in as hired help. I can try to procure some uniform or something.
Perhaps I'm sorry, Sirocco. I was being a tad facetious. I think what would be best instead would be to get to the heart of the city where this event is taking place, see what exactly it is all about, see if it requires such an invitation to this, and if so, who the main proprietor of this is. We should, agreed, take our time, to say the least. A bit of caution would serve us well in comparison to our previous endeavors.
I agree.
So, if that is at least an agreeable first step, perhaps we should make our way to... And he just kind of gestures towards the gate.
Yeah, I think we go. As we enter the city, Brett is going to pull his hat up on his head and keep a lookout for anyone who might be ill, specifically with hollowing.
Why don't you roll a easy perception check for me, Laurel?
With my heightened awareness, doesn't that add a boost?
Yeah, you'll get a boost if you're near Kel.
Cool. That is 1 success, 1 advantage.
You don't see any plague victims here, even in these horror outskirts. Something also that you note is that even though the state of this basically slum that you're treading through is pretty wretched, there don't seem to be any hints of plague, current or former. There are hallmarks of the plague having worked its way into a home or along a street or the graves that are marked with plague. And there's just none of that here. Adin-Selk seems to be immune at a glance.
Brett is immediately intrigued.
Would you say obsessed?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So everyone keeps panning along through this neighborhood and up toward the gates. When you do arrive at the gates proper, there's a pretty steady procession of people going in and out, guards checking everyone that passes through. But as you get a little nearer, take up your place in the queue, you notice someone, their eyes just narrowed at you, counting with their mouth, not saying anything, and then they seem satisfied and they start strolling over to you. Looks to be just an Elverette in simple garb. Tunic, trousers, nothing obtuse.
And this is while we're just waiting in the queue to get through the gate, right?
Yeah. He comes up and, raises a hand as he draws a little closer and says, "Hello, are you the ones known as the Wolves of Ironwood?"
That is us. And Sirocco will remove his hat and give a nice bow.
Ah, perfect. Aethelward had called ahead and gave us notice of your arrival. I can make sure that you are given entrance into the city. From there, it will be a little difficult trying to procure a spot at the event tomorrow evening, but it is imperative to our mission and your agreement with Aethelward in finding Koko that you are there for this event. Is that in order?
That is very good. I have a question for you, but I ask it after we get into the city and perhaps not in front of so many prying eyes.
Very well. I will restrain my curiosity until then. And he'll just fall into line with you, inching slowly forward, along with, everyone else trying to get in. By the time you are in the threshold of the gates and the guards are looking you over, first up is Phineas, one of these elfkin, well-armored, well-armed, with some more similarly outfitted elfkin to flank him out. Looks at you and says, "How many in your party?"
It would be 6. And he kind of motions to the people who belong in his group.
Okay. Do you consent to a search of yourselves and your belongings in order to mitigate the trafficking of contraband and other illicit materials into our fine city.
What would be considered contraband?
Adin-Selk has strict provisions against certain substances and weapons of ill repute.
How many drugs you got on you right now? That's a real
Give him to the
question.
spider. Have the spider climb over the wall.
My spider's dead!
His spider blew the fuck up
no.
last time.
Oh no.
Leaning over to the guy that had met them outside the gate, Sirocco says, "Is this the standard? Does everybody need to get searched? And how in-depth is this search? I do not know if I want this man with his little fingers going up and down my, well..."
I think all you'll get is a pat down unless you give him reason to search deeper.
Oh, that is it? Oh, well.
Kind of taking, like, a moment's pause after the guy talks to him, Finn, cool as a cucumber, just says, "That will not be a problem."
Very well. If you have anything to relinquish, you may do so, for if it is found upon your person during a search, you will be apprehended.
We gotta dump our water out so our bottles can go through security.
Take your shoes off, electronics in a separate bin.
The kin have actually just evolved into the TSA.
That honestly kind of tracks for them.
I
Not gonna
don't
lie.
disagree. I feel like Val would invent the TSA. His great gift to the world. After he uses the heart of the void is to invent the TSA and change nothing else.
Everything else is the
Our
same.
great founder, Valmez Sulisel. He also saved the world, but doesn't really matter. He invented the TSA. All right, so does anyone remove anything from their person or give it up to the guards, or are you going in as is?
I don't think Brett has anything to be concerned about, so he will go as is.
Okay.
Arnor doesn't really have anything.
Is anyone trying to conceal anything from the guards?
Wouldn't you like to know? Tell me what the guard searches.
They'll give you a pat down and they'll search your bags.
Okay, they can do as they will.
If you are trying to have something not be discovered, that will require a skullduggery check.
It's not in any of those places.
Brett does not want to roll skullduggery.
All right. Well, then if no one is trying to conceal anything, the guards will briefly take all of your weapons and bags and satchels and what have yous and go through them. And, 10 minutes or so pass. They keep you waiting for a while on the other side, and then your stuff will be returned to you.
Did they take our stuff somewhere else to do this, or were they in full view the whole time?
They were not in full view.
Okay, I would like to look through our stuff and see if they have, planted anything or taken anything.
You move a little ways into this plaza just inside the main gate, or this northern gate, and if you'd like to, you can investigate your belongings.
Yes.
You can go ahead and roll perception. It'll be easy.
And if you guys are close to me, you get a boost.
Sirocco definitely does not check through his bags.
Doing a cursory check through his own bag, mainly just perusing through his knickknacks and bits and bobs and little metalworks that he has in there. Just checking to make sure, primarily that nothing's missing. That's kind of Finn's intention.
It looks all accounted for, yes.
Okay. I should say, he got 2 success on his check.
I mean, Brett's doing much the same. I have 2 failure, 5 advantage.
Looks all accounted for.
Awesome!
After his belongings had been taken away, he always does a little cursory check to make sure that everything's there and in place. Arnor got 2 success.
Your belongings are intact and present.
Yeah, Kel's just checking to see if they fucked with her sword or her staff in any way, and I rolled 1 success and 1 advantage.
Doesn't look like that.
Okay.
As we're all, sitting on a bench, gathering back our stuff, Finn slips off a shoe, and he pulls out a little piece of paper that something stuck between, and he slips it off and slaps it on his tongue, kind of tilts his head back. You got to love kiddish cities.
Kel just shakes her head.
The emissary that Aethelward sent saddles up beside your group and says, "Well, that was harmless enough. I can point you in a few spots of interest if you are looking to, as I said, find your way inside the palace. Just make sure that by tomorrow evening you have secured invitations, for the gates will close for the entire weekend as the event takes place."
Now, I have a question for you. These invitations, they are like paper or something? Like, we do not need to have our name on a list, do we?
No. Certain houses, organizations, noble families have been given an amount of invitations. Their names would be on the list. Therefore, you would then present a ticket or token, and one of those names would be stricken.
And you know which of these families we could potentially commandeer an invitation from?
I know only that the representatives of the Karakan company will be in attendance. I am without a doubt that the Akaram family has received the amount of invitations. I can provide a exhaustive list of noble houses and other entities that are most likely to have been invited, should you require it.
If you could write that down and give it to Arnor here, and he can look through it, would be good.
Very well. Give me just a few moments, if you don't mind.
Well, Buster Boy, because we don't know his name, is
Yeah, no one's asked his name yet.
writing this down.
Nobody cares about his name.
Finn turns back to the rest of the group after he slips his shoe back on. So, what then? Do we pretend to know or belong to some of these noble houses and work our way in, or perhaps bribe our way in with tokens of great value?
I mean, I think if we could find somebody who would be sympathetic to the Ironwood Company, that would be our quickest way in. I think the less lying we have to do, the more likely we are to succeed.
If our experience in Porte Soleil is to be any indicator of the reception to us here, I would not be so hopeful to find any sympathetic parties to the Ironwood Company.
What if we used Aethelward instead of the Ironwood Company, so that we were friends of his? If he's sending us down here to help her, then his name might still go somewhere. I mean, obviously he was able to help us into the city, so maybe if we could convince somebody to sponsor us the same way that some of us got sponsored at Marika's event, that would at least get us inside the building without having to lie or steal something. We could try that. It's not a half-bad shot, I don't think.
Pardon me, young lad.
He's just got a piece of parchment that he's scribing on with a crude pencil. Yes?
What exactly is the nature of your relationship to Aethelward? Are you a follower of his group or tangentially related to his cause?
I am employed by a private company that performs sundry services for wealthy individuals. I've been contracted for the day to assist Aethelward's wards, as he called you.
Seeing as it is apparent that Aethelward is fairly affluent, did he make any appearances in Adin-Selk to which his name would be recognized among the general populace here? Or perhaps in certain circles that you know of?
Unfortunately, none that I would be aware of. I believe Aethelward, Mr. Roan, as it were, kept most of his arrangements in the north. His associate, Miss Silkweather, is the one that would have conducted business here in the city.
What's the general attitude towards the Ironwood Company around here?
Difficult for me to say. It is not one of my specialties to be generally well informed about the different relations between parties, only the identities and locations of parties themselves.
Right.
Do you know of anybody that might seek some aid in protecting anybody that was going to such events? People of high notoriety.
Though people of all sorts and scruples who attend such events, no security is ever permitted inside, private or otherwise. If you don't mind, I will finish writing up this list. It is nearly complete. There are only a few more.
As you were. Unfortunately, I believe we will have to become a little more creative in this endeavor.
What you do with these names is up to you. The emissary will kind of say off to the side of you, Finn, and then hand you a list of names. The best of luck. If you need further use of me, let me know. Otherwise, you can find me at my company's headquarters.
Which is...
Oh, you will find us in the southeastern parts of the city, just outside the walls, in Soresold. And he'll give Arnor then a small stone that almost glows as you point it around. It's a kind of compass, embedded with some kind of telekinetic or antikinetic energy as you feel a little pull when you are pointing it in the correct direction.
Before you go, have you had plague around here ever?
Plague? There have been several sicknesses abound in recent years, though nothing quite so grim as I'm sure what you are referring to, and he'll just kind of make a gesture toward as if he were wearing a hat.
All right.
He'll look back towards Finn and just gesture toward the piece of paper. Do you have any questions about these individuals, companies, or so on?
Which part of the city would most of these families or groups be found in?
I believe you can find most, if not all of them, within the walls, either in Mutsenkin, Adumkin, or Ensiundun.
I have a terrible time remembering names in Kinlish. And he kind of looks over at Cal. Did you get that?
I got it, don't worry.
Good.
If no further questions, I'll take my leave.
What was your name?
You may call me Akendel. Akendel will take his leave and stroll off, quickly lost in the throngs of commoners and otherwise entering the city.
Now, I know you said this is like a kin city, so are most of the people that we're seeing kin, or is it like a good mix of other races and stuff?
It's still a good mix. There's probably a higher percentage than was in Port de Soleil, and certainly the governance, the city watch, and so forth is kin-centric.
Okay.
Who's on your list then? Any names stand out?
Perhaps it would be best for us all to take a look. And he kind of just holds the list out for all to see and pass it around.
Do any of these names mean anything to us?
If anyone wants to do lore checks on any of the families, or you can choose between lore and geography on companies or anything below that.
I'll roll some lore.
What's the difficulty on this?
Depends on who you're asking about.
Brett is more curious after the list in general. Like, any names that seem notable or relevant or high up. Like, I don't think that he's searching anything specific. It's just kind of, does anybody stand out?
I can just tell you that no.
Okay.
Finn is most focusing on the companies and the coalition and the emissaries and the ambassador. Basically, any groups that potentially, if they had a presence at all on the main continent, on Varnaros, he would have heard about or had some interaction with them at some point.
All right, so which one do you want to roll for?
Let's do the Verdant Coalition.
Go for it. That'll be lore 3 difficulty. But I'll give you a boost.
Phineas rolled 2 success, 1 advantage.
All right, you know the Verdant Coalition pretty well, actually, as they are not offshoots per se of the Aravon Engineering Corps, but rather a kind of competitor. Whereas the engineering corps was very pragmatic, very ergonomic in its construction and proliferation of void technology, the Verdant Coalition was much more, let's say, mindful of void's effects on the environs of where these machines were implemented and the people that service them, how they were affected. Kind of like an advocacy group, basically, for engineers and towns that were ill affected by misuse of void technology, but also having their own brand of more eco-friendly engineers.
Okay. Kind of pointing to the one name on the list, the Verdant Coalition, that he sees. Finn says, I have heard of this group. Interacted with their members a couple times. They claim to have the best interest at heart for members of Ranaros when it comes to void technology. The problem is they never had the spine to actually do anything useful. They go about gallivanting and saying much, but doing nothing. I think it would not be outside of the realm of possibility to procure a spot on their list, I could alter some of my views, my rhetoric slightly, and convince them I am in favor of such policy.
I do not need to read the list to know that the Ekaram family is on there, who I believe is the family I suggested we talk to before. So, I think is fate we should talk to Ekaram family.
It sounds like we may have a couple of options. Do we want to try one and, if not successful, the other?
I think we can try Finn idea first, because he have a history with these people, is what they sound like to me. So, if you know them better, I say we do that first.
And obviously no guarantees how many of these spots one could procure. It might be best, regardless, to try to diversify exactly who we are representing at this event, so as to avoid suspicion.
Finn, you bring up a very good point. So maybe instead of doing one, then another, we can do them at the same time. Finn, you go to the Verdant Coalition. I go to Ekaram. Maybe one more.
Yes, it would be good to at least plan on 3, perhaps, to guarantee enough spots.
Well, we should only stick to 2 groups since we're down a member already. And given the last time that we all split up into 3 groups, we all saw what happened. So I'm suggesting that if we try to go in opposite directions, we stick to a group of 3 and a group of 2 instead of trying to send one person off on their own.
Is no problem. I say, if we do split up, first, the meeting place is the town center at sundown, because it's easy time, is sundown, and easy place, go to middle of the city. Easy. And then we go from there, because last time I go to an office with you, he says pointing at Finn, and you, he says pointing to Kel, and somehow I am the one who gets separated from everybody else because I do not wear mask or pretend to be old man.
Finn's not pretending.
We can get you a mask.
I do not need a mask to hide my lustrous features.
Yes, but what if it goes so well with your cape?
I am open to the idea. If you would like to provide me with mask, I can try it on. But I think is okay. Who want to come with me to Ekaram?
I'm thinking that Arnor and I should go in different groups just because I can protect who I'm with and Arnor can protect who he's with. So I'll take one, Arnor can take the other, and Bread, you can choose? Who do you like better?
No, okay, bread not choose, okay? I know the split, easy, okay? Now, Kel, you come with me. Bread, you go with Arnor and with Finn, because if Arnor need to protect someone with big shield, he protect Bread. Finn, everybody know, monster man, protect himself.
While his reasoning is not quite the same, I was going to suggest the same.
That's fine with me.
It's fine by me.
Really good.
Then it's settled. Kel, come with me to Ekaram, and perhaps you show me how good the mask look on my face.
Sure, Sirocco.
Shopping!
Yay!
We spend 20 minutes at a stall with a merchant and Sirocco haggles for the whole time.
Only issue, I do not know where the Ekaram family is. Do we have a map?
Didn't he tell us on the list? Wasn't that the point of writing it down, was to tell us where they were?
He said they could be in one of these, 3 places.
Oh, that guy was so helpful.
Which, mind you, is basically the entirety of the inner city minus the bit where you are.
I hope that Aethelward got a discount on that guy, because he was not useful.
Responding to Sirocco's posing of the question, we don't know where we'd find them. Well, as far as the Verdant Coalition goes, I have no doubt that they are spreading their propaganda high and low throughout every corner of this city. They proclaim to be the heroes of the future, the salvation against the destruction of the coming void apocalypse.
Right, and these are the views that you need to tamp down in order to talk to them, no?
He kind of just shoots Brett a glare. Yes. But that being said, I think I can find very easily some location where they are having a call to arms to come and meet and join the revolution. For argument's sake, we can begin our journey in, what was it, Adin-Selk?
Let's just head south a little bit and see where it goes.
Very well.
Then, with their objectives set, the wolves set off into the sprawling streets of Adin-Selk, unaware of the shadowed eyes that slink after them.
Well, now I'm aware.
I hate that.